Welcome to a tutorial on learning Python. In this video I'm going to cover conditional statements. In programming terminology, a conditional statement is something that changes as a result of some expression. That is, if the expression is true, something happens. If the expression is false, something else happens. Conditional statements allow us to move through code in different branches, depending on the result of its statement. If it is true, it does something. If it is not true, it does something else. So, let's start to talk about these. On line 2, we see a variable with the value 2. Lines 4 and 5 have the first use of a conditional statement. Notice it starts with the if keyword, so we're testing something. If this is true, do this. So we notice test is less than 3. This is the conditional part of it. If this is true, if the value of test is less than the value on the right hand side, in this case 3, we're going to do whatever is in this code. If it isn't, we're going to skip it. So we see 2 is less than 3. Notice we have the colon here. Just like when we're talking about functions and objects, we're using the colon here to say whatever follows is within this group. So we see colon, we see some white space. So if test is less than 3, we're going to do this, which is to say use the print function to look at the value test is less than 3. Moving down on line 7, we see a new variable, test2, is equal to a new value, 4. Down here we see on lines 9 through 12 a more complex example of this. So we're testing again if this variable is less than this value. So the thing in the middle is an operator. In this case we're testing less than. We could also test greater than, the reverse of this, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, or equal. So we have many different ways to approach this and compare two different values, one on the left and one on the right, depending on the operator in the middle. Less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or equal to. So in these two cases, we're using less than. So we see here at line 9, we're testing if the thing on the left is less than the thing on the right. If the value of test2, which is 4, is less than 3, then do something. But it's not. So in this case, we would skip over that code. And so we come down here to the else keyword. The else keyword is paired with an if keyword. And it works to what I was talking about at the beginning of this video. So in conditional statements, if the thing is true, we do this. If it's not true, we do something else. In this case, with the else keyword, it allows us to find the other thing. So we know this isn't true. So this code right here on line 10 will not get run, and it will move over it and do something else. Do something else. In this case, using the else keyword, which is set up the same way. Notice the colon and the indentation. So we see here, if this is true, it's not, else do something else, else keyword. Print test2 is not less than 3, which we know. And let's run this. Test is less than 3, right here on line 4, and to line 5, which we know. And we see down here, line 12, test2 is not less than 3. So conditional statements allow us to branch code and do different comparisons. As a review, we can look at less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or equal to, or not equal to cover all of them here. So we have various comparisons we can use as an operator between two different values. Conditional statements allows us, as a review, like I said, we can branch to different paths within code, compare values, and then act on those comparisons. Using the if keyword, if the statement is true, we do this. Using the else keyword, we see that is the other thing. So if the if is not true, else we do something else. As I've said, using else multiple times, that's the other thing. So we see in the example in lines 9 through 12, if this was untrue, so we did line 12 instead. Thanks for watching.